All right, guys, let's make sure the second time's a charm. So we just lost some coverage. We went back on. Now it looks like we're pretty strong. So this show today is going to be real unique in the fact that you're going to meet somebody, you're going to listen to somebody actually share his story. He's going through those fear barriers as we speak, both personally and professionally, and he's making some major leaps and bounds in his professional world. And now you're actually going to get inside the head of somebody that's literally going through it, not somebody that's been on the other side of that. Now we're gonna really share with you somebody that's going through it. So that being said, let me introduce my man Josh Bryant, and we are going to find out where he came from, where he's at today, and where he sees himself going. So Josh, introduce yourself, my man.
My name is Josh Bryant. I'm a new realtor in Marietta, Temecula. I've only been doing it for about 2 months.
Okay.
Before that, I was in personal training,
and we're gonna kind of take that journey. But he's making some major changes, some very scary stuff, but also exciting at the same time. And I always say, if it doesn't scare you and excite you at the same time, it's not big enough. Is that where you're at?
Yes.
You got that dynamic duo?
Good, man.
All right, good. So where did it all start? Where are you from?
I grew up in Hemet.
Okay. So Inland Empire?
Yes.
Okay.
And just 2 years ago, finally moved out here. I grew up there since I was about 10 years old.
But you're in the Temecula area now?
Marietta now.
Marietta, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And, I felt like it was a better area for my kids.
Right.
2 kids, 6-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy.
Yeah, I know, and we're going to talk about that because you got a lot of balls in the air, man. You got a lot of things on your plate that a lot of people that are making major professional changes don't have. So again, there's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of value we're going to share here today, and I want to kind of dig into it. So growing up, did you like school? Were you an athlete?
I was always quite athletic. I was really, still am, an introvert, so I was kind of quiet.
Okay. All right.
Never the real popular kid. Didn't really care to be.
Yeah, you like kind of in behind the scenes a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What sports did you play?
Basketball mainly.
That was your thing?
Yeah. And when I was a little bit younger, I played flag football.
Okay.
And then school was, for the most part, was always pretty easy for me.
Okay. And I hated those guys. Hated those guys. They could just take tests and ace them like that. I mean, so school was pretty easy?
Especially math. Math was always
the worst subject. I mean, unbelievable. So it just always came easy to you. It was pretty effortless.
For the most part, I could have put a lot more effort into it,
but because it came so easy,
I never tried
right.
hard enough. And I look back at it, and I use those mistakes, if you could say, to help my kids learn and help push my kids. Always have them striving.
So in other words, you saw where you could have done better or gave more effort, so now you're going to use that and say, this isn't going to happen again, right, for the next generation,
exactly.
which is cool. And that's really one of the key components I say about that is really identifying, understanding who you are, your level of awareness in yourself. Now you can apply that to your kids and then be able to see, maybe one is better in math and the other is better in sports or vice versa, right? Because, and that's important, especially as a parent or as a leader, to know that. So you're knowing more about yourself. What do you think? How important is that, your level of awareness?
I guess it's actually really important because if I'm, I guess I don't know how to say that.
Well, in order to lead, right? In order to lead, you have to know who you are first. And I always say, now in this circumstance, we're not talking about business, is you know who you are, you're learning from things that you want to change, which you are, and then you're implementing that and applying that with your kids. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
No. And some of the stuff, there's nothing more rewarding than hearing some of the stuff that your kids are accomplishing. I just had the parent-teacher conference, and both of the teachers told me basically the same exact thing.
Just great kids.
Great kids. They're both at the top of their class. And granted, it's still only kindergarten and 4th grade.
So I was left back in 2nd grade. So that means a lot. That's still good.
My son's teacher said he's one of the kids that's going to grow up and make a difference.
Wow.
And it hits you.
Yeah.
It really does. And
that's awesome.
she just follows in his footsteps. She wants to be everything like him. Everything he does, she wants to do.
And it's
only better.
And that's really right, exactly. That's even better that she feels that way, and now she's you know, without realizing it, she has a model, right? That she's gonna follow.
Okay.
That's awesome. We're gonna get into your kids. So, you know, growing up, you got out of high school. Did you get into college? What was your next step?
I went straight into the military, Air Force.
Okay.
All
right.
I went into security forces. The recruiter made it sound like, oh, you play with guns all the time.
Salesman.
Oh yeah. And so I went into security forces.
All right.
I was in Texas for basic and my tech school.
All right.
And then from there I went to Edwards Air Force Base.
Okay.
And shortly after I deployed to Saudi Arabia.
Were we at war?
Yes.
Okay.
But luckily there wasn't a lot of activity in that area.
Okay.
Granted, it was still a possibility.
Yeah, but it wasn't right. The front lines, things
Exactly.
like that. Okay.
And we were out there for only 6 months. We didn't have to spend as much time as the Army or Marines, which is it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we were only there for about 6 months. Came back. After that, I kind of settled. I never strived to really get a
Kind of cruise through.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got out as E3,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, I just kind of cruised through life.
So, well, how long were you in the Air Force? 4 years?
4 years.
And how did that help you, when you look back, did that help create some sort of foundation, or it didn't?
In a way, it did. I like how structured things are for the most part, but in my squadron, I guess you could say there was a lot of, let me get this person in trouble in order to get a promotion.
A lot of political red tape.
And political, I mean, everything.
Just
has
like the
political
corporate world.
aspects.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I was married at the time, and when I got out is when I had my son.
Okay.
So it was a little while ago.
Okay. And how old's your son?
He's 9 now.
Okay. All right. Good. So at least you felt like it gave you some sort of foundation, and you got to see a lot of places that you wouldn't have saw, obviously, with that in Saudi Arabia. Right. But still part of that journey, right? Still
Yes.
part of that, creating that wisdom. So you get out, then what do you do?
After that, I started working security at a casino,
Okay.
and again, I
On cruise control.
was on cruise control. I didn't care to get a promotion, but I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do.
It wasn't going to be forever,
Yeah.
and you weren't going to retire there.
And there's, if anybody knows the casino side, there's so many politics and things that you don't really want to listen to. I mean, you're watched 24/7. I've never seen so many cameras before in my life.
Yeah, it's just part of that world.
And again, it's just, I knew it wasn't something I wanted to do, but even since high school, at this point, I still didn't know what I wanted to do with my life.
Right.
So I was always looking.
What gets you, because you're a pretty laid back guy, right? And it sounds like for the most part, and we're going to talk about what you're doing now, but for the most part, you can put it on cruise control and just chill, right?
Yeah.
What gets your juices flowing? What gets you motivated? What does that for you?
Working out.
Okay.
And that's
All right.
something I really like to do. I mean, it keeps you sane, keeps you
Man, I'm so glad you say that. It's my therapy. It's my
really
therapy.
is.
Absolutely.
If I didn't do that, I mean,
Right?
I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
I can relate so much because it was almost taken away from me years ago when I had a bad motorcycle accident, right? I could have been paralyzed, could have been dead, and it made me realize I couldn't work out for 4 months because I broke everything. It was, I didn't know what to do with myself, and I realized that it was such a part of my life. I've always been an athlete, but until it's taken away, you don't realize that. And I just did a video on that today about your body is the vehicle that gets through this lifetime, right? And the better you take care of it, the smoother the ride. So why don't you touch on that? I mean, we're going to get into you. You're a personal trainer. Obviously, you're really in great shape, and healthy. So it's such a big part of your lifestyle. What can you share with people that they're going to get if they're not implementing that?
If they're not taking care of their body first.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get anywhere in life, you have to be able to get there. I mean, physically,
Right.
mentally,
Right.
spiritually.
Right.
So if you take care of yourself first, it's going to make everything easier. Kind of like what you said, you're going to be able to. I know I just said that, but you're going to be able to get there easier, smoother, and it's going to keep you sane. I mean, that's like I said. Without that. You only go for maybe an hour or 2 hours a day, but if you don't, it feels like you have so much extra free time,
Right.
and you're lost. I don't even know what to do.
Well, and you know what else too? If I'm sure for you, right? For me, it also clears my head,
Definitely.
and I get the best ideas when I'm in the gym. That's why a lot of times when I do my quick videos, it's literally in the parking lot, minutes after the gym, and that's also why it's a lot of testosterone, so there's a lot of passion at that time. So it's going to come with a warning label sometimes right after the gym, but it absolutely, and there's times where I go 2-a-days, right? I'll go because I have 2 businesses. So there's times where it gets so busy, so crazy, that I actually split it up, and I'll go, my alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning, and then I'll go sometimes at 5:30 at night, and just completely, all right, I'm done with that business, right? Now I'm focusing on this business, and now it clears my head so much that, I just did that video, so I have so much passion for that. And also, let's be clear, right? You say an hour to 2 hours. It's all about what you do in there, though, as well. So if you're hanging around and you're chit-chatting and you're talking, that hour, 2 hours don't count. Right? It's not the same. And I just saw a post where it said, if you can have an in-depth conversation in the gym, something's wrong. And I always say, listen, the most you can do is a nod. That's all I do. I don't talk. I have my headphones in. I give a nod, and that's it.
Hey, I mean, every once in a while somebody come up and they'll talk, and you don't want to push them away and be mean.
I do.
I try to answer their questions, and you get a little bit of body language, but you're still trying to be nice. Like you're trying to finish off your set because you're losing your.
You're doing, you know what, you're way better than me. I don't even make eye contact. And when someone comes up to me, I literally walk the other way. And I just can't, because it's my time. It's my zen, right? It's like walking into, if somebody's into yoga and you just start walking in and they're in a pose, they're in a downward dog, and you lay down and start talking to them. So how was your day? That's the same, but a lot of people don't relate that because they don't look at it the same way as we do.
It's a different type of workout.
Yes. And just a different mindset, like of what is acceptable and what's not. But yeah, I can't even pretend.
I like to take advantage of that time because I've been using headphones a lot recently because people were talking to me.
Yeah.
And instead of having to kind of try to push them away, just put headphones in, and it gives me the opportunity to listen to all the motivational speakers, Les Brown, any of them, and especially lately it's been Joel Osteen, and it just helps. It switches your mind because I do it in the morning, so you have a different perspective throughout your whole day. Everything's more positive thinking.
It doesn't give you a shift.
It does.
It gives you a shift. It's so true. So let's do this. I wasn't even going to go there, but I'm interested now. Give us your routine. What's your daily routine?
I've been waking up at sometimes it switches, but usually it's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I'll get ready real quick and I'll go straight to the gym.
Right.
Hoodie, headphones.
Yep.
And get there. Usually I'm the only one there because I go to the gym where I'm a personal trainer.
Oh, okay.
So I'm the only one there.
Wow, that's great.
And I take advantage of it.
Yes.
I'm there for about an hour and a half usually. That way I have enough time to get home, eat breakfast, and then I still have time to get the kids ready and take them to school.
That's your system.
And then it's a little bit of a struggle because they both go to school at different times because, like I said, she's still in kindergarten. So it's drop him off at 8:30, go back home, drop her off at 10:30, and then sometimes I get lucky and my wife can go pick them up, or she can even drop them off. But after I drop her off, I can go to the office for a while, get some work in, or try to squeeze in an open house or
whatever you need to do. Okay.
And then she gets picked up at 2:30, and then we actually just sit there at the school because he gets out at 3:20.
Okay.
So it's a huge chunk of the day, but the more I can see them, the better, because I feel like no matter how I'll use the word successful, or no matter how much money you make, if you don't have time for your kids or your family, it's not success.
And you know what? So I always define success as, because people always want to know, right? What is success? And if you really want to paint a broad picture of success, in my opinion, it's literally happiness of is fulfillment. And it's so basic, but it's so true. And I think what you're doing now, being an entrepreneur, is going to allow you to keep living life on your terms. Because let's face it, if you work a 9 to 5, that wouldn't be.
And they don't control your life.
Right.
I mean, granted, what I said about success, everybody has a different definition of it. But for me, family's going to come first. Well, I'm a Christian too, so it's God and family, and then work.
Sure.
And if you keep it in that order, you're going to have success. Just keep all the negative out. Everybody, no matter where you get in life, everybody is going to have, or it's not everybody, I'm sorry, somebody's going to have a negative opinion about it.
Oh, yeah.
And you just brush it off. It's no big deal. And that might be their internal insecurities.
And it almost always is, right? It always comes from, especially if, I would say, if your intention is pure, you're bulletproof. That's their issue, right?
Exactly.
And that's what they need to figure out. And that's, we're definitely on the same page with that. So, so that's your kind of daily routine. And then do you also work out on the weekends?
I try not to on Sunday. If I do on Sunday, then it's going to be after church. These last couple of weeks I haven't been able to go, which it's not good. I don't like that. But
I get it.
I've straightened out my schedule a little bit more. So Sunday I won't do any open houses. I won't do anything. Church is going to be number one. And then my mom actually, or our church is actually out in Emmett. So after church we'll go and visit family.
Yeah, it'll be your family day. And that's, again, it's really understanding who you are, what are your priorities, and not letting other people, the outside noise, change that. And that's what I like, that's what I love to hear. I mean, it's a great thing. So you're working at casinos, you were doing security, you were on cruise control, but you knew somewhere, something kept kind of pulling at you. You knew that this wasn't going to be forever. Was that?
Basically, and then, from the casino, there was, I don't want to say they were downsizing, but I guess that's how they said it, and they got rid of my position. And they tried to put me at a part-timer at a lower pay. They actually took about $3 off an hour. And I did it for a day or two, and I said I didn't want this. And from there, I went to a couple jobs that it was actually still a downgrade. I was unemployed for a little while, then I went to GNC. It was a little bit of a rough time because during that time I was also going through a divorce.
So you had to, going through some rough times. But before that, when you were at the casinos, especially towards the end, were you finding yourself thinking about getting out of there? Were you thinking about moving on?
Yes, and that's why I wouldn't take that other job.
But see, here's what I want to hit home is he started to think about. First of all, there was something pulling out from day one, knowing that you're not going to be there full time. So that was already a done deal in his head. Then he started to think about that change. What else can I do? Maybe there's something else. And then what happens as you think about it, the circumstances and the people just start to come in, whether you can identify it or not, right? You start to think about it, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, there's no position. All of a sudden, they deleted your position, right? And now the universe says, be careful what you wish for, because now here you go. But it pushed you out of the nest, right? You were on cruise control, and now the life always says, we're going to see how good you can fly.
Those things it's a blessing in disguise.
Absolutely.
You might not see it at first, but you look back on it and it's what you needed.
And not only that, it's what you attracted.
True.
See, it's what you brought into your life, good or bad. So, and that's why, I'd be shocked if you said you weren't thinking about it, because that's just the way, that's the law. So now you find yourself at GNC, right? And I mean, because I had a sports nutrition store for a while, and I loved it because it was such a big part of my life forever. And I loved the fact that I was able to, I was misled a lot when I was younger about because they just wanted to sell you they wanted to sell you. And that was the difference with our store. Because I owned it, I could now really focus on what are your goals. So how did you enjoy the sports nutrition world?
Well, I've always liked helping people.
Okay.
And if it's something that I'm actually really, I don't want to say I'm really knowledgeable about, but it's something I know quite a bit about. I mean,
Sure. More than the average person.
I try to. And it's when somebody's willing to listen and they want to help themselves, then I'm going to give them what they want, what they need to get to that point. Whether it's the supplements or if they want help with their daily nutrition. And sometimes, like you said, they want you to push a product that is on sale or something that they might not even need, that might not even work for
when you're working for those big chains. Absolutely.
And I didn't like that. I didn't always believe in it. So I didn't always hit my numbers.
Right.
But it wasn't something I cared about because it's not what the customer wants. If they make the effort to come into the store to make a difference for themselves, I'm not going to give myself or even the company I work for a bad name because I'm just pushing on.
And it's just not in alignment with you, right? But a lot of people can't stay, right? A lot of people kind of sell out to that and say, okay, I want to hit my numbers and this is what they say, right? But that actually shows a lot of character. And it's interesting you were talking about helping others. Our tagline that I actually made up when we had the sports nutrition store is, you're going to leave with more information than you came in with, whether you like it or not. And that was because at the end of the day, that's what's going to separate us from so many other people. When you just even walking in the door, nobody ever walked in the door without getting an hello or leaving and saying thank you. And that little bit is so huge, and it separates you. And and it seems so little, but it is. It makes people feel like they're welcome.
Yeah. It can make a huge difference on their day or their goals.
Absolutely.
It can make their goals seem more realistic.
Absolutely.
Instead of so far away, they're looking at a smaller picture instead of
100%.
picture.
So let's, before we do, Marion, anybody jump on?
Yeah, we have a few here. Chris Ripka.
Big C.
In the house.
Big C. He has an awesome podcast. Make sure you check him out. It's called Raw and Real instead of Real, Raw, and Live. That's how we're brothers from another mother. And
we have one from Robin Williams.
Okay.
Or Wilson. He says, "Go, Dad."
All right. Anybody?
And Victoria Gilbert. And she goes, "Hi guys, with love. What's the title of the book? The letters are Mirror Vision in Reverse."
Oh yeah, I know, because of our screen has to be a certain way. Sorry about that. It's Knockout Fear in the First Round. You can find it on Amazon. And then when we get done, actually might even be able to have somebody post that link for you. And if not, I can do it when we get done. And it's just it's a book that I wrote with the help of my publisher, and we just landed on Amazon about a month ago. And it's just about learning how to identify and crush those fear barriers. So thank you for asking, and we'll make sure we put a link up for you.
Okay.
Anybody else, Marion?
Yeah, we have Anthony Steele.
Big A. This would be a great guy for you to connect with. He actually used to work at Nutrition Zone for me, and he's got an awesome personal training studio business down in Oceanside, but he does a lot with the community, and I can hook you guys up. Would be a great guy to connect with.
That'd be awesome.
Great guy to connect with. So Big A, I'm gonna hook you up with Josh, and you guys can do a lot of collaborating, and he's all about giving back just like you.
Definitely.
And anybody else, Marion?
Jody gives a shout out.
Oh, Jody. All right. I hope you made it back from Arizona safe, or if you're back at all, back in I don't know when you're leaving Arizona, but I know you had a good trip.
She's getting on the plane now.
All right. Thank you for taking the time and jumping on.
And then there's Tim Herman with a shout out.
Big T, thank you, man. Thank you for taking the time, jumping on. And you guys connect with Josh when we get done. Great guy to connect with.
Then Janet Murray, shout out.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Look at that, man. You're bringing the love. You're bringing the love.
Okay, and Stephen Kane, shout out.
Okay, Big Steven, hope you like the book, man. I appreciate you picking that up, and we're looking forward to your feedback. And if you guys have any questions for Josh, throw them out there because he's done a lot of stuff already in his life. He's only 30 years old, so he's always looking to give back. So I know it's an open door policy.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Anybody else, Marion?
Yeah, Carrie Stonebridge, No Fear Challenge.
Oh, Carrie, she's a champ. She's always supporting Monster Motivator TV. Thank you so much for everything you do for us, Carrie. Very much appreciated.
And then we got a shout out from James Hickey.
All right. Great. It's another guy you'd be great to hook up with. He does a lot of social media down in San Diego. We just had an event together 2 weeks ago, the Business Breakthrough. And great guy to hook up with. And I'll connect you with all these people. Anybody else, Marion?
Wade Blendgood.
Big Wade. Always count on my man. Always count on Wade, man. Thank you so much. So, you how long were you in the sports nutrition world?
I worked there for about a year.
Okay. What did it help you with because you're more of a back end guy, so you had to meet and greet people. How did that help you with that part of your personality and kind of did it help get you out of your comfort zone?
It did, but what else helped is right before that, I guess we kind of jumped over that.
Okay.
During the time that I was unemployed, I actually started competing in men's physique.
Okay.
So I had to get up on stage. So
Wow.
you gotta hold that smile the whole time. So I mean, you kind of have to get past that fear of being the center of attention because
You're there.
Part of the time, you're the only one on stage. Everybody's looking at you.
So how were you able to break through that fear? What was your why?
It kind of had to do with the divorce. I kind of finally got to do some of the stuff that I wanted to do, and I just said, screw it, I'm going to go for it. Okay, so you felt like it was, again, kind of that bucket list thing that you said, now I have the opportunity to do what I want, when I want, and I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity, and I love that. Because I always say you got to put the oxygen mask on first, right? It really. It wasn't to be egotistical or anything.
No.
It was just
It's a
like
sport.
you said, part of the bucket list.
And it's a sport.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to see how it was.
Now, how many competitions did you do?
I think it was 6.
So let me ask you this: the first comp, when you're ready to walk on stage, how did you feel?
I was pretty nervous. The second pose first pose, very first pose I hit, my back leg started shaking a little bit. And I was hoping nobody noticed it.
You weren't cramping, were you?
No, I was just shaking out of nerves. But that day I actually had to get up on stage 4 times.
Okay.
And by the second time it was...
So let me ask you this. Driving home, you're done with the first show. How did you feel?
I could say accomplished. Tired, because it's a long day.
But accomplished, did you feel like you broke through something? Did you feel any different in your self-image and in your overall belief?
Like I could keep going, keep stepping further.
Okay.
I could do it again. I could go, because that was actually a national qualifier. So I could go to Vegas.
Okay.
Step on stage with some of the big dogs.
Yeah.
Not pros, but it's the next step to a pro. That was a little bit humbling because they were a lot bigger than I was. Because I actually did that too.
But you did. And that's where, again, separates you. A lot of people out there want to, and they use that word try. We're going to try, and that's failing with honor.
Just do it.
Just do it, right? Just do it. But the difference is when you do it, afterwards, the difference that you feel internally, you can't buy that feeling.
No.
It's just part of it. And I hear that even with this show. There's a lot of people that are terrified to be in front of this camera and share their story. And then afterwards, it's just a liberation, right? Because it's that monster under the bed. Once you turn the lights on and you look under the bed, right? There's no monster.
Exactly.
So that helped. Then you got right into sports nutrition, which you had to interact with people, greet people, right? Get out from behind that counter. So you were doing some major stretching, huh?
Yes, and during this whole time, Actually, during one of my competitions is where I met
Your wife.
my wife.
Okay.
But during this whole time too, I started meeting more and more people, and I noticed that people, I don't want to say people were, not physically, but people were attracted to me, whether it was my personality or just wanting to know me.
Your self-image started
Yeah.
it showed from the outside.
And then I wanted to actually meet. So it's law of attraction again.
Yeah.
So I started meeting more people, and I noticed that people actually liked me. They liked to know who I was, and it builds your confidence. And it's, like I said, it's never, I always try to keep ego to the side. I've never been a person that wanted to talk about myself. Like so when Cindy had said, "Oh, let's do this,"
Fear barriers right now.
you can talk about yourself for an hour. I'm like, well, but no, I started getting a lot more comfortable with it and started helping different people, whether it was friends asking for nutritional advice or work out with them or anything like that. It's just started to become more second nature. So I always kept taking that next step.
Yeah, just building that self-image, right? Just keep building, moving forward, and becoming that person to be able to take that next step. Because if you went back into safety and you stopped doing it, then you stop becoming that person, and you start to live a different reality. So now we're getting into real estate. What made you think about real estate? How long were you thinking about it? And what was the attraction?
I can start with how I got into it. I became a personal trainer at a local gym, and I'm really passionate about working out, but I noticed that I wasn't overly passionate about scheduling my whole day on training people. I always wanted to help people, but I didn't want to do that for a living.
Okay.
I'm not sure it makes sense.
It just didn't connect for you. It just
it
wasn't a
didn't.
connection.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
And I still work out, I still help certain people, but I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do for a living. And I feel like I did it for a couple months, and it might have been God that put it in my path, because I met one of my clients. And this client was actually given to me by the owner of the gym. He said, "Oh, hook up with him, he'll really help you out." And so I contacted him, and I trained him for about 4 or 5 months. And he actually works at Full Realty.
Okay.
So we started talking about real estate and everything, and it opened my eyes on how much, and some people might not compute this way, but how much real estate isn't just sales.
Right.
It's actually helping people find their dream home.
Well, it's building relationships.
It really
Yeah.
is, and it's not about the sales per se. If you want to be successful in any type of sales, it's about building the relationships with the people. And it's not transactional. It's relationship.
And that's a great way, it's a great approach, especially in your industry, because it's so saturated, right?
It
So
really
then
is.
what's going to create that security? What's going to create that success is really bringing more value than somebody else. That's the bottom line. Can you bring more value than the other guy? Or can you bring more value than was even expected? That's what's going to separate you in such a competitive, saturated industry.
It's all about customer service. It really is, and along the customer service line is that long-term relationship, which makes loyal clients,
Yes.
loyal friends,
And referrals. And that's what builds your business.
And if you can work by referral only, I mean that's a dream. That way you don't have to put in hundreds of thousands of dollars every year trying to get your name out there.
Sure.
I mean, I heard a commercial the other day, and it said they're marketing geniuses. They know how to get their name out there. I was like, well, if they're so good at it, then they wouldn't have to be marketing geniuses.
Right.
They would be referral only.
Right.
I know, and everybody's different. Some people are great at marketing, like Cindy, and
It's safe.
but and some people are they're built for it.
Yeah.
But if I can do it just based off of referrals, that would be great, because that means I have more one-on-one contact.
And that
I'm in
means-
front of the customer, building that relationship.
And that means you're successful, because
Yes.
people are not going to refer you if they don't
Exactly.
they like the way you did business, and
Exactly.
they couldn't connect with you. So that's an awesome long-term goal. And as you know, life makes the rules. So right now, life's going, how bad do you want it, and are you willing to earn it? And that's where you're at now. That's why I was excited to do this show, because you're actually watching somebody and listening to somebody going through this transition right now, going through that darkness, and it's just is what it is, right? It's just part of that in order to grow and move forward. And you've done that all the way up into this point, which is really fun to share, because a lot of people are going to try to figure out, how do I get out of this 9 to 5? How do I juggle? I'm a single mom, right? How do I juggle raising my kids, running a business, work for this company? And you're showing them, look, it can be done as long as you have a system and you prioritize, and ultimately, honestly, you know who you are and you know what works for you, and cut out all the outside noise. Just get rid of the outside noise, because it just gets in the way. I did another video on that too. So, Marion, anybody else jump on?
Yeah, we have Marina Dunn.
Marina, she's going to be on our show soon. I'm pulling her in, kicking and screaming, but she's going to be here, and that's going to be a major barrier she's going to crush, and I can't wait to get you on. Thank you for jumping on, Marina.
She's got a comment. Love hearing how the roadblocks help you actually get where you want to be.
Awesome. It's just, it makes you, it's life's boot camps, right? It makes you stronger if you follow through, if you get through that darkness, if you're willing. And as soon as you go back into safety, you stop growing. We're waiting. Okay, we got back on. That's just the reality of it. And Marina, I'm so looking forward to having you on this show, because you're going to bring a ton of value. So thank you for jumping on. Anybody else, Marion?
Yeah, Cindy Lemke, she said Dave's book and gave the Amazon link.
All right, thank you, Cindy.
And then we have Tony White, give a shout out.
Big Tony, thank you so much. Big marketing guy, internet marketer, social media marketer, great guy. I've spoken to him a few times on the phone.
And also Stephen Kane gave a shout out.
Okay.
And Mark Finucci.
Okay.
And then we got Marty Ish.
Okay, Marty. Yep. I know we connected a few times, and appreciate the taking the time and jumping on and getting this value.
We also have Bertha Pretorus.
Yep, Bertha. We can always count on Bertha. Thank you so much, Bertha.
And Daniel Diaz.
All right, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for taking the time. Do we have any questions or comments?
No, just the Marina one was the last one, and Cindy.
Okay, awesome. So Josh, where can they find you?
I work locally at Full Real Estate Services, Inc.
Full Real Estate Services, Inc.
Full Realty.
Oh, Full Realty,
Yes.
Inc.
And,
Services, Inc.
Yes,
Thank you.
and we're right off of Jefferson, and
Okay.
the team I work with has 50 plus years experience. We do refinances,
Okay.
we do obviously loans, and then work with buyers, sellers. We do reverse mortgages, so basically everything that you can think of in real estate.
Just under one umbrella.
Yeah, and we're all right there, so
It's a one-stop shop.
One-stop shop, everything in there.
Okay.
It makes it a lot easier. You don't have to wait forever for the paperwork to get there, or for them to get the paperwork, because we can just hand it directly to them.
That's awesome. So one-stop shop. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to Josh on here. He would love to interact with you. I know he's going to jump on after. And where can they find you as far as your social media and your email?
And we can put the links up. I'm on social media. Not social media, Instagram, Facebook, and I'll put my
Your email.
My email as well, and also my phone number. If you want to give me a call, ask any questions, feel free.
Awesome.
It's easy enough for me.
So is there anything that I didn't talk about that you want to share?
Not really. Just never settle. Just keep going. There's nothing. You never fail until you don't try or you stop trying.
Right.
Even if you try to do something and it doesn't work out, or you fail the first time, get up, do it again. Because like I said, you never truly fail until you stop trying.
Yeah, and I love that you use the word settle, because I like we talked about success, living life on your terms, happiness, fulfillment, right? Settling is giving up. Settling is quitting, really. And when you look at it that way, you should settle much less in your life if you decide to look at it that way. And that's how I decide to look at it, because it makes sense to me. Settling is saying that's okay the way it is, but deep down, that's not really who you are, and that's truly not what you want. And you got one shot at this ride. Take advantage of it. And I'm a big believer, Josh, that we can only be in one state of mind at a time, right? So if you're in victim state, you can't be in
You're
gratitude
gonna
state.
always be a victim.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't be in gratitude state. But if you're in gratitude state, there's no room at that moment for a victim state. And if you could be in unstoppable state the majority of your day, how great would that be?
That'd be amazing.
Wouldn't it be awesome?
Nothing would get in your way.
Exactly.
Aim high.
And life always says, right? Josh, do you want to purr like a kitten or roar like a lion?
Roar like a lion.
Roar like a lion. So we're going to do the Monster Motivator roar. I know you're familiar with it, right? On 3. 1, 2, 3.